Good morning, everyone. Let me see in the comments if you all can hear me. I'm gonna get everything pulled up here. Can you all hear me in the comments? Oh, awesome, you can hear me. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Forgive me for running a few minutes late this morning. Technology has not been my friend. If any of you are thinking about starting up a YouTube channel, technology always throws a kink. I think I've tried to do, 3 of these lives, and this one almost did not happen once again with cameras and technologies, but looks like everything has resolved itself and we are in good shape. So I've got my laptop down here so you can see me looking at different notes. I want to make sure that I get this announcement correct. So first of all, hello from the Overwater Cabana at Coco Cay. So you see I've got my royal family behind me. They've taken a little bit of a pause. Hey, royal family. We've taken a little bit of a pause to go live and share with you this information about the group cruise. So with that, we had, a little bit of a celebration going on. So we've got my friend Pam's birthday going on this weekend, as well as I am hitting the 1,400 milestone. So for you all that know, in the Current Anchor Society, that is another free certificate and another milestone recognition. And so we got a good deal on a cabana splurge. There's 9 of us here that we can divide the cost up between. So it is a really awesome time to be here. Let me look at my notes. All right, so before I jump into the group details, let me just say that I am super excited to be announcing the very first weekend cruiser group cruise. Now, having a YouTube channel, it's weird because I feel like I already know many of you. I see you comment all the time. You're always liking the content. And thank you for that, by the way. And so I feel like we've already established a relationship, though we've been in this virtual world. So I'm very excited to hopefully get the opportunity to meet many of you that I already feel like I know on the ship. So I think that that is going to be a great experience. So no worries if you can't make this group cruise that we're getting ready to announce. Stay tuned all the way to the end. This is probably going to be a shorter live, but we will do some Q&A at the end, make the announcement, talk about logistics of how you can book on board the Weekend Cruisers group cruise. There's also going to be a Facebook group that I'm going to send out. And so that's going to be how we communicate all the various information. And this is my first one, you guys. Like, I have never done a group cruise before. So I'm going to be not winging it or playing it by ear. Like, I'm looking for your feedback on what you want to see on a weekend cruise. I've got some ideas of my own on how we can make it really special for everyone. But I'm looking forward to hearing from you all on what it is you want to do on a group cruise that's going to be out there. So it is going to be a very quick one. So when I was thinking of what group cruises to do, I've initially said, maybe I should just do a 7-night cruise. But I think, in thinking that through, this is the weekend cruiser. Like, we got to do a weekend cruise, right? So hopefully none of you are going to be surprised by the announcement that we are going to do a weekend cruise, which is super exciting. Though not to be basic or to keep it simple, I'm going to change the ship up. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to not be going on Freedom of the Seas. That is my current home ship. But what you may not realize is my home ship is going to be changing at the end of this year. So I'm going to be switching over to Liberty of the Seas, that is going to start doing 3- and 4-night weekend sailings out of Port Everglades or Fort Lauderdale. So in thinking about the different options, I said, you know what? Why don't I bring all of you to Liberty of the Seas? Let's do the group cruise on Liberty of the Seas. It's going to be newer to doing weekend cruises, but I think that that is a great way to experience it. And I also think that Port Everglades offers a few advantages to everybody. Number one, it's just closer to my house. Like, it is super easy for me to get there versus going all the way down to Miami. And then I thought about it. If you all are commuting in, if you're driving in from somewhere around South Florida, or even if you're in Southern Atlanta, it is easier to drive to Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades, than it is to Port Miami. If you've been on I-95 in South Florida, you know that the speed limit is not actually the speed limit. We go 25, 30 miles per hour over that. It is a crazy time. And I keep thinking one of these days that road, I-95, is going to keep me from being on the actual cruise because I'm just going to get locked out in a wreck or traffic of some kind. So we're going to do it out of Port Everglades. It's also cheaper if you fly in. I feel like most people already try to avoid the Miami airport. And Fort Lauderdale is just an easier airport. It's got JetBlue, Spirit. So it is going to be a cheaper airport. The hotels are cheaper if you come in the night before. So it's going to be a really good experience. The date. So something that is crucial, and I know I heard from a lot of you on, where you can and cannot come in. I hope that many of you can make this, but we're going to go on the January 27th, 2023 cruise. So that is going to be Liberty of the Seas sailing on January 23rd, January 27th, 2023, out of Port Everglades. So I am super excited about that. Now, the good news here is it's a weekend cruise, so it is not going to be that expensive because you are only getting 3 nights. So that is one of the great things to it. But before I jump into some of the pricing, let's talk about some of the ideas around how we're going to make this special, or how we're going to make this actually a group cruise so that all of you get to know each other, I get to know you, and you get to know me a little bit more. And so some of the ideas that I have, and these are all tentative. Number one, it's going to depend on the size. How many of you actually want to come on us? Because we're going to have to find space that's going to be able to fit everyone. And then I'm going to have to work with the cruise line, of course, to figure out where can we actually hold this, where is not already reserved. So with that, we will be doing dinners together. We'll meet up for a drink and then head to a show. Those are all traditional things that are out there. But how do I make this special for the weekend cruiser? And so some things that I were thinking of is, start with a sail away party of some kind, and then maybe do the weekend cruiser trivia, something that I think would be really, really neat. See how well do you know the channel? How well do you know me from the videos? Are you paying attention, watching the videos? Do you know what's going on? And can you answer some trivia questions about the Weekend Cruiser channel? So I think that that'd be a really cool event. I also think that it would be neat if we can pull this off logistically. You can see from today that technology has not been my friend, but I would love to film a live video in front of all of you so that you can see how the secret sauce is made. I think that that would be a really cool thing to do, is to show you how I actually make a weekend cruiser video, and you can see kind of what goes into it, how many times I mess up, how many times we have to restart. It should be a really fun thing if we can pull that logistically off. But in thinking of the 2 different islands we're going to be going to Nassau, Bahamas, as well as Coco Cay, Royal Caribbean's private island. So both of those, you all know that I have strong content on. And so when we're in Nassau, I was thinking 2 options is we can do the famous walking tour that I know a lot of you have probably been on if you've come to Nassau. Might even hire a official guide for that so you don't have to rely on just my information, but we might actually have a legitimate Bohemian walking us through the walking tour. We also have my favorite bars and restaurants that are out there that we might be able to have lunch in Nassau before coming back to the ship. Now, let me just say this. Like, I know Nassau is not everybody's cup of tea. All these activities are totally optional. If you want to come, we would love to have you. If you just want to pick and choose which ones you want to do, that is totally fine too. I am not taking attendance at any of these events. I just want you to go, have a great time, get to know some other people, and go totally at your speed. So when we go to Coco Cay, some ideas that I had there is I would love to do a video scavenger hunt from Coco Cay. So I'll upload a video right when the scavenger hunt is starting so that you can watch the video and then find various items on Coco Cay and then report back to win some neat swag or something of that nature. We also could have like a floating bar takeover, or we could do, just a place at the Oasis Lagoon, one of those little nooks over in the side we can all meet and hang out at. Again, completely flexible on everything we're going to do. So I'm going to send out the link for the Facebook group so that all of you will know where to go to get the information, offer your feedback, and how do we make this special. So let me send that link out now in the chat. I'm going to pop it over here. So if you want to go ahead, if you are thinking about coming on the cruise, go ahead and join this link. You don't actually have to come on the cruise to join this group page. You can just come and live vicariously. That is totally fine. And if you can't make this one, you can give us some opinions and some advice just on how we make it good so that when you come on the next one, it'll be in good shape after that. And one other thing that I'll call out before going into just how you book the cruise is I'm also working on some weekend cruiser swag. So as you all know, I don't really have an official logo, any merchandise. I've never really figured any of that stuff out yet, but I've already started the process to find some people. If you all have logo or design skills, graphic design skills, would love to chat with you just to get some opinions on what you think would be a really cool, the weekend cruiser logo that we could use. So be on the lookout for a lot of swag. So of course you'll get a shirt of some kind. and hopefully a few other things that I'll be able to figure out to make it really special. Now, in order to book, the most important part here, and first of all, I'm not a travel agent, you guys. You know that I'm not a travel agent, have no desire to be a travel agent. But luckily, I know some really good travel agents. And if you don't have a good travel agent, I encourage you to find one because they are absolutely worth it. They're amazing to work with. And my travel agent is especially good at working with group cruises. So we're going to be using Rand Cohen to help us book these sailings. He's going to be the travel agent that's going to be coordinating everything that is out there. So if you are interested in coming on this cruise, we've got some amazing group rates as well as refundable rates. More important, if you want to book refundable, you can absolutely do that. And if something comes up, because I know this is in January, that's a long ways for some of you, you can cancel that and get your money back if you're on the refundable fare. So there's plenty of options that are out there, and we do have plenty of group space for everyone. But Ron's going to walk you through all the pricing based on your specific situation, because I could throw numbers out here, but as soon as I do tomorrow, those numbers could always change and shift. But Ron will walk you through what the right pricing is for you to be able to come on the cruise ship, taking in your Crown and Anchor discount. If you're getting the DP 340, the Diamond Plus 340 point discount, if you're a solo cruiser, he's going to be able to handle all that and is very, very familiar with it. So to get up with Ron, I'm going to send out a form. So he has an intake form, if you will, just to get some very, very quick information. It'll be your name, your email address, what kind of cabin you're looking at, and then any additional notes that you want to put in there. I'm going to link that in the comments as well. So let me grab it real quick. That is important. If you want to book on this cruise, you do have to go through Ron to be on the cruise. So that is one of the crucial things to any group cruise, is you have to book into the group. So if you want to be part of this sailing and have some of those exclusive weekend cruiser activities, you do have to book through this. So I know that there's a lot of casino players that are out there. Casino offers do not work for this. Or if you might already be booked on the ship, Ron can walk you through if there's an opportunity to be able to transfer that into the group to make sure that you get to participate in everything. That's just honestly the only way that I know how to keep up with everybody, make sure that I'm ordering enough stuff and planning for the right number of people to join us. So let me see if I am missing anything else in my notes here. I think that is it. So the important thing is to fill out this form that I'm getting ready to put in the comments. So you've got the Facebook page, so make sure that you're joining the group on Facebook, but then you're also going to complete this form to let us know that you are interested. It doesn't mean that you're committing when you complete the form. It just means you have a little bit of interest. You want to hear what your options are, and you can either lock something in when you're talking to Ron then, or you can say, hey, that's really great. Let me see how my calendar is going to play out, and then I'll be able to do that, hopefully, in the coming months. We would love to have all you. I would love to meet all of you on this cruise. I am personally super excited to be able to share Liberty of the Seas on January 27th, 2023 with all of you. There's plenty of space. It is pricing correctly. It is a cheaper 3-night cruise, but it's going to go quick. So make sure that you are booking sooner rather than later if you can, to make sure that you are getting the best deals and discounts to get on board. So let me come down here in the comments and see what you all are saying. All right, so is Liberty of the Seas the same size as Freedom? It is the same size as Freedom. So it is a sister ship to Freedom of the Seas, though I will say, unfortunately, it is not an amplified ship. So it's not going to have some of the bells and whistles that you're going to see with the Freedom of the Seas, but it is still a solid ship. It is a large size ship directly under the Quantum class. So it's going to be the same as Freedom of the Seas as far as size, layout. But I personally haven't been on Liberty Seas. It was my first cruise ship, actually, that I've been on. And one thing that I've always remembered from there, you all know that I collect the ship models. And I don't have a ship model from Liberty of the Seas. It was my first cruise, and I didn't know that that was going to be a thing for me. So I'm excited to get back on her so that I can grab another ship model. Thank you for the congratulations on 1,400. It is exciting. It has gone quick. I'm going to make a video on that because, a lot of you may or may not realize, but I just turned Pinnacle back in August of last year. So I have picked up another 700 points within a year with Royal Caribbean. So I'm going to be making a video about how I did that, walk you through what I did. I didn't do anything special, honestly. I just kept cruising like I was before. But they had a lot of extra benefits and perks that came with some of my bookings. So I was able to make 700 points very, very quickly. So Alejandro, you're asking about the casino. If you do come on board with a casino, you would not be able to participate, unfortunately, because you do have to book in the group and not through the casino. That's just one of the nuances. I know a lot of you all don't pay for cruises. They're prepaid at a premium, as I like to say. So I totally get that. So that's just one of the unfortunate things of having a group cruise. You would not be able to use one of those casino offers. Katie, glad to see that that was one of your first ships as well. Hopefully they've made some improvements to it. I think I went on her in, what was that, 2015? It was quite a while ago. So I'm hopeful, maybe it was 2014, 2009. I'll have to look at my spreadsheet. You guys know I have a spreadsheet for all of that stuff to let you know. So tips on what kind of cabin to choose, Moises. Honestly, that's going to be up to you, your price point, and what you want to do. There's different strategies that are out there. And so I know that you're newer to cruising. When I started cruising, I went for the cheapest cabin just to get me on the ship. And so that allowed me to then go on more cruises. So the cheaper the ship was, the more cruises I could go on, because I don't have infinite money. I can't go in the Royal Suite or a Crown Loft Suite every single time. And so I went for really cheap cruises so that I could go on more cruises. But if you know that you saved up some, you've got some extra money, and you're only going to do, 1 or 2 cruises every now and again, it might be a place where you can book a higher tiered room. The one that I personally love the most is the Junior Suite. That's why you see so many room tours of Junior Suites that are out there. I think for the value and the size of the room, it is perfect, especially if you're coming with 2 to 4 people. It is an amazing size. If you're just by yourself, like I traditionally am, it's probably honestly a little overkill. I'm on a balcony this sailing, and that is definitely more than enough space. And it's going to depend on, are you good not having a window or having light outside? Personally, I sleep fantastic in an inside balcony. There's a running joke that, there's some mothers that just come on the weekend cruise, get an interior cabin and turn the lights off, and they just sleep for 3 days straight because the sleep in there is so good and it is pitch black. It's fantastic. But if you need a little bit of light, an ocean view cabin will get you some of that fresh light. If you're like me and need sunshine to wake up in the morning, that can be really crucial. Or if you think you want to be able to get some fresh air, sit out on your balcony, enjoy some alone time. But I'll leave that to you to know your style of cruising and what's going to work best for you. And I know, Hava, there's weekend cruises are not for everybody. If you are flying in, it's not always the best deal. But what I will say is you would be able to book a 3-night. You can do the weekend and then stay for the 4-night, and you get a 7-day cruise out of it. Only downside is on Monday, you have turnaround day. But the pool on the ship normally is deserted up until about 12:30, 1 o'clock. There is nobody out there, and you kind of get the ship to yourself. So if you want to do that, get 2 days in Nassau, 2 days in Coco Cay. There's always the opportunity for you to come and stay back to back. But honestly, at that point, my strategy would be just stay for another weekend and make it 10 days total and get 3 days in every single port. Not that I've done that too many times. I've done that a lot of times. Because if I'm here on a weekend or midweek, I am definitely staying for the weekend cruise. So Katie, the ship Liberty of the Seas is it's out of Galveston right now, but she's going to be transferring in November over to Port Everglades out of Fort Lauderdale. So a much easier cruise port to get everybody to. Sorry for my Miami and my Keys folks. It's going to be a little bit more of a drive for you than Port Miami would be. But I think for everybody else, it is a much better location to be able to cruise out of because it's going to be cheaper and just easier overall to get to and sail from with the exact same itinerary. So I'm super excited for Liberty to be coming to Fort Lauderdale. That's going to save me money, not only in parking. Port Miami is extremely expensive on Ubers going down there for longer sailings. It is literally like a 15-minute drive from my house. And from the Fort Lauderdale airport, it is literally a 5-minute drive away. It is across the street, or the highway, I should say, from Port Everglades, the airport is. So super easy to get to. And if you're in Orlando, that's not far away at all. I know I've made some Brightline videos. I'm super hopeful that Brightline is going to come through for us for all of the more central Floridians that want to come down. If you could just hop on a train, get off in the Fort Lauderdale station, and then take their shuttle van over to the port, how easy would that be? And the same token by me, if I want to go up to Port Canaveral, there we go, not Everglades, Port Canaveral up in Orlando, it would also be super easy for me because I don't really want to drive up there because it's 3.5 hours, but I don't want to fly, and there's not really a good in-between unless I literally just take $120 Uber, which at that point is the same price as probably just flying up there. All right, everybody. So to recap, and I'm going to wrap this up for us. If you do have more questions, make sure that you are going to the Facebook group page to ask all of those questions, learn more. That's where we're going to be engaging with everybody that's going on the group. So make sure that you are going and checking that page out. Let me put that link back in here one more time. It is clearly the Facebook link. That is going to take you directly to the group. You'll answer the quick questions there, and then I'll allow you into the group. Again, you don't have to be coming on this cruise to join the group, but just make sure that you are joining so that you're up to date and you're giving us feedback on how you want this to go. This is my first group cruise. I don't know if you all have done many of these before. You can maybe pull from some resources, but we're going to make this a fantastic trip with your help and with your support. And the second thing is make sure that you are going to the JOT form to let our travel agent, Ron, know that you want to come on this trip. That is going to be one of the crucial ones for you to fill out so that you can get in touch with him. He'll send you an email probably to start with, see what room you're in and get some pricing, whether you want refundable or non-refundable. I always recommend the refundable if the price is even close together, because look, things come up. It's a weekend cruise. And so you may just want to be able to back out or have some of that option at least later on down the road. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate you tuning in today. I'm going to get back here to the Overwater Cabana. My royal family has been great behind me today. They behaved. I was a little worried about how that was going to go. But thank you all for joining. I look forward to seeing you on the group cruise on Liberty of the Seas on January 27th, 2023. I think it is going to be a fantastic time. We're going to make it special and memorable for everybody that comes on board. Thanks, everyone. Truly looking forward to seeing you on a weekend cruise soon.